Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently very angry at Songor. That will persist until Songor no longer exists, of course. So that is absolutely fine. For the time being, we're working up our navy here, and we just got rid of all of our forts, and we're now making 3.28 gold per month, which is not too bad, although I'm noticing some hitching here. Hopefully that clears up. Imperator, I've been noticing, is doing that a little bit. I'm wondering if it's because of just how much was added with this mod. That's a possibility. And if it just hitches a little bit here and there, that's not a huge deal. Yeah, like that right there. Well, it's fine. It's not a huge deal. This is a grand strategy game. Having a buttery smooth frame rate isn't the most important thing. Although it does make me angry. Well, not necessarily angry. Mildly irritated, shall we say, which is also how I feel about Songor and what they did. Mildly irritated is the term. Now, do we have a CB on them? We do, actually. We have a war goal to take Malaya. So that is perfect. What do they have for alliances? They're currently at war up over here, and they have no alliances right now. Now, we're at 88 gold. How many troops are in our levy, and is our levy available? Our levy is currently available, and that's not so bad. I kind of want to declare this, since they're in another war right now. Let's do it. What could possibly go wrong? So we're going to declare this and get our revenge. Next up, of course, we're going to raise up our levies, which are going to be rather expensive. And our levies are right here. I want to select our levies, not our navy. Right, I forgot. In Imperator, it's not about whether you have the nameplate selected or not. It's about whether you have the unit selected. And that gives us a navy. Okay. Wild. Well, we're going to grab all three of these, and we'll do it this way. We're going to embark all of them onto our navy. And I'm not going to do an opposed landing. I want to land up over here where our CB is. Now, I'm thinking right now about the state of Malaya. All we need to do is take this as a base and then siege down Klong. And that's basically the whole war. Fascinating. And there's no way they can get up here in time to do anything about us disembarking in Baraus. So that seems absolutely great. Baruas? Baruas. Something along those lines, I'm sure. So we're going to just grab this for the time being. And what is the supply limit here? Supply limit is 9. Or our supply weight is 9. Supply limit is 7. Okay, what level fort is this? This is a level... I'm sure it says here. It's a level 1 fortress. Okay, so that should mean that we need, I think, 2,000 men to siege that. So I'm going to send... I'm just looking at our distribution of units here. I'm going to send our unit with the supply train. They have much higher food storage, and we're going to send them in to commence the siege. We're going to hold these guys in reserve here, where they're not going to be, hopefully, taking attrition. We can hold them in reserve. They can move in when that is necessary. So at this point, I believe ticking war score is against us, because this is over. This war goal is for the entire province of Malaya. So that's noted. And we're making 2.89 per month right now with our armies raised. That's really not too bad. So that's absolutely wonderful. We're very pleased about that. Let's get this siege underway. So these guys should have lots and lots of food. Yeah, there's a lot of time for food there. That supply train is helping us a lot in that regard. Now, we're not taking attrition here. That looks good. And there you don't want to fight us. So this war looks free at this point. Excellent. At this point, our navy can head home. We do not need them to be here. And my question is, did that bump up our fleet or army maintenance? It did not, interestingly. So our army maintenance, we probably want to hold on default. That increases our levy size multiplier. Maybe that's something we should have done before we raised our levy. I'm not 100% certain on that. 25 political influence for 22.83 gold is normally an incredibly worthwhile thing to do. Right now, I feel like gold is more valuable than political influence, but I don't think that's actually going to be true in the future. How much political influence can we store? 500? I'm going to do it. So that'll be fine for right now. We'll want that political influence later. For now, the political influence is not tremendously valuable, and I would rather have the gold. But honestly, that will change around, and that's okay. So we're at minus 21% on this siege for now. They've only got 2,000 troops here. Did they end their other war? No, they did not. So Pahang is actually the instigator of that war, but is not taking any territory. That's intriguing, for sure. All we need to do, though, is finish this siege and then come down here and eliminate these forces. Once that's done, all of this should be under our control. And that'll give us a toehold on the mainland, which will be absolutely useful. Because I don't want to have to do amphibious landings later on. That would be not great. So, we're at 7% at this time. We could think about moving these guys in. I don't think I'm going to do it yet. Let's let this go up. 28. Okay, let's start moving in. I want our units to be grouped together when this falls, because I want to attack these guys immediately. And this 3K could potentially take them out, but honestly, it's very similar quantities of troops, and they would have the defensive in the jungle, so I would prefer to have these guys be here. Okay. We will let the looting be gentle. We're going to gain 12 gold here, and we are going to head directly in here. It's unclear which side will win. No, it's pretty clear. We're going to win. They're running away. They believe that as well. So that is fine, and this is now all controlled by us. All we need to do is take this over. These guys are heading in here. I don't believe that they can do anything about this, though. We're going to arrive here first. And how close are we? We're really close. They are trying to steal stuff from us, but they will not succeed. So we win that. Fantastic. We're going to occupy this, and all of this will be under our control. These guys will be brought into the fold eventually, but they're not quite there yet. Beautiful. So next, we will sue for peace, and we're going to take all of that territory. That's going to give us 5 AE, which is absolutely fine. There we go. We're going to lose half a point of AE. That'll be absolutely okay as well. And let's put down our levy for the time being. Done. We can't raise that again until for like 6 months. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So taking a look at our levy at this point. Yeah, that's definitely bigger. No, I think that's actually the same, isn't it? Yeah, that's the same. So we didn't actually get any levy increase from this out over here. That's fine. We have a settlement here. This is currently a settlement, so that's where the city is. Okay, noted. That is absolutely fine for right now. So we now have a toehold on the mainland. One thing I'm noting is we do not appear to be able to colonize here. We need neighboring province to have at least 7 pops, and at least 50% of the pops have to be Minangkabau culture. Okay, so these are the wrong culture. We should probably immediately put this on cultural assimilation to get to work on that. So taking a look at the cultural map mode here, I mean, they're very similar culturally, but they are definitely not the same. Okay, they're within our culture group, but we'll need to get them converted over. We'll also need additional pops up over here, but for now, I'm less concerned with colonizing this area and much more concerned. Yeah, that's all one province right there. Or not even province. That's all one settlement. So I'm much more concerned with pushing out over this way. These guys have taken some territory up here. That's fine. And we know how strong they are. That is to say, not very. I'm wondering, we have claims on the state, right? No, we don't. So we would need to actually fabricate a claim on them. Let's get going on that. Let's get that done. And once that is done, that will be absolutely phenomenal. So good progress out over here. I do want to get started on another building soon. And we want to get rid of this fort probably, although having a fort in this state on the mainland is a good thing. So for the moment, we may want to just drop our fort maintenance down to here. Something along the lines of that. That's probably reasonably fine. Okay, So we're definitely making good progress expanding out over here. This is all impassable, correct? Correct. That is all impassable. So that's good to know. This is technically colonizable. I'm not sure if we'll ever be able to, because we appear to need physical borders to be able to do that. Maybe that's a technology that will come in later on. We'll keep an eye on that, but for now, that's definitely appearing to be the case. We can colonize over here once we have enough people here, and they need to be of the correct culture. So one thing we could do, instead of cultural assimilation here, is we could simply make these guys be an accepted culture. So we could set their rights to be noble. Currently, the cultural happiness is 15%. Cultural happiness here is only 39, of course. So, found colony. Clang would gain a colony. So, we would have a colony of our own people that would start up over here. Noted. That's intriguing, but it's not what we're going to be doing. So, we do want to integrate these. So we want to show only integrated status. They're part of the same culture group as us, so I would absolutely love to integrate them. And I'm trying to remember exactly how you do it. Is it just via the civic rights? Okay, yeah, the civic right of citizenship or higher. So we'll give them the right of citizen. That'll be fine. Cool. So that'll start working its way up, and we can't change this for a while, I don't think. Actually, we can. We should probably put this on... Centralized population would not build us up any centralization. So that's noted. I'm thinking right now about putting them onto... Encouraging trade doesn't seem right. Civilization effort would be interesting. But I'm thinking acquisition of wealth right now. So we're going to pop that over. That is absolutely fine. This province over here is currently on encourage trade. I think acquisition of wealth is the way to go. And then here we're on acquisition of wealth as well. Okay, so that looks good. That'll boost up our income a small amount, very small, 0.05, but that will still be a useful thing over time. So that is good. We'll get that going. I don't actually care about these guys being Dukunic in terms of their religion. That is the correct religion. And Malayan is absolutely fine. We're going to make that be integrated. So the idea, I think, is we're going to integrate cultures in our culture group. So that includes Chaya as well. So it'll be these three cultures that are integrated. And actually, there's some cultures out here that are part of our cultural group as well. Fascinating. So that's noted. 12.49 gold in exchange for 10 loyalty for this guy. A local import route for 25 gold. I'm going to pass up on that because I don't feel like it's necessary, but that's an interesting option for sure. So we're currently dropping stability due to number of integrating cultures primarily and our aggressive expansion. Our aggressive expansion is not going down very fast. But that's okay. We're not too concerned about that. Do we have a aggressive expansion reduction in here? No, we don't. But we may want to do some of that civilization change. We're currently on our deity of war, and we probably don't need to be on that as we go through these territories. These guys are not very threatening. So once we get the opportunity to, we'll probably change that. Now we're incredibly close to being able to build a farming settlement. In fact, we can do it. And we're going to build this in Kluang. Perfect. So we're just going to continue to work our way through that. We can call down an omen. I'm kind of thinking working on our civilization here. So we'll do that for the time being. Now, I want to check in on our civilization levels. There used to be a bar here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Civilization value is 8.8 right now. Okay. Cannot be higher than 8.78, which it currently is. So that's going to be changing not our maximum civilization value, but our current civilization value. Right. So maximum civilization value is going to be the concern there. Noted. That is probably going to be mostly wasted in that case. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. For the time being, we're mostly concerned about getting our economy online and continuing to conquer up this direction. Getting our hands on this choke point up here would be absolutely phenomenal. Like, imagine having a high-level fort here and a high-level fort here. That would be incredible. We wouldn't need any additional forts beyond that. Now, we're going to be attacking over here in Pahang very, very soon, and we should probably consider raising our levies preemptively for that. So we're going to do so, and I'm going to have these guys embark. Is there a hotkey for that? There is not. Okay. That's exciting. Well, these guys are going to head around over to here. Cool. We're just preemptively raising our force up, and they're going to prepare to attack here. We only need to attack this one location, right? There's only 2 provinces here, so that'll be absolutely okay. We should probably double-check that they don't have alliances, and indeed, they do not. So that looks good. This is going to be finished in August of 471. Okay, maybe we raised these guys a little too early. Well, for the time being, I want to take our navy back over here so that we're not constantly selecting them. There we go. And these guys, we could, in theory... Can we have them drill? They can only drill if they're in a legion. Okay, noted. I want to check in on our tech here. I also actually want to check in on our missions. Right. We can't actually do this because we don't control these provinces. I forgot about looking up colonizing these. Currently, the option is not available. And I kind of expected that it would be, because we own the closest location in terms of the state, right? So I'm wondering if there's perhaps an option that we can do here to create a colony here. The way we could create a colony down here. So this is Nagadipa. Okay, so if we go into here and we grab this decision, can we create any sort of a colony? No. We could found a colony here. This would be in Klang. So this isn't where I want it. I want it in Nagadipa. So that is apparently not an option. Good to know. We'll have to figure out how exactly that ends up working. Indeed. There's no option here for that, but there must be one somewhere. Reason being, we have a mission to control this entire territory, and there must be a way to colonize these. So, I'm going to look that up. I'll be right back in just a moment. Okay, I have looked it up, and oh, I restarted the game, so I have to refocus it. There we go. So I've looked it up, and apparently this is an oversight in the Terra Indomita mod. So here is the way that it works. In order to colonize, you have to be within 2 sea tiles. So you can see 1 sea tile, 2 sea tile, 3 sea tiles. So it looks like the workaround for this is to conquer it via console commands, and I am going to do that, but we'll do it quote-unquote the right way. So we'll get that done in a moment, but first I want to point out, even if we were to be up here, yes, we can colonize from here to here, so we only need to colonize 1 of these via the console, but even up here, look at this. 1, 2, 3. These are actually completely uncolonizable right now. That is an oversight in the mod, and we need to jump into here. Now, in order to colonize, like I said, you have to be within 2 sea tiles, and the location that you're colonizing has to have 10 pops. This has 7. So we're going to have to move some pops in here. I'm going to move 1, I'm going to move 2, and we lack the 5 gold required. Okay, so we're going to tick forward until we have the 5 gold that we need to move our 3rd pop in. So we're going to meet all of the requirements, and we're also going to pay the 500 manpower that we need to do in order to do that. So I'll do that in a moment. I've restarted the game in order to enable the console, which is actually not popping up. Okay, maybe that didn't work. I might have to redo that in a moment. We'll see here. But first off, I want to get this gold. So let's get the gold for that. We're now at 7 gold. So now we can move a 10th pop in here. So that's 10 pops now, and you can see this didn't pop up because we're not in range. But at this point, we now need the console. So I will be right back, and I'll make sure that that works. You have to restart the game with a particular launch flag, and apparently that didn't function here. I did restart it, but let me get that going. One sec. So here we are with the game restarted. As you can see, the game is in debug mode at this point, and that is what we need. So just if you're curious, if you want to do this yourself, what you have to do is you have to restart the game, and then in the Steam launch command option, you have to put in -debug_mode, like that. That enables the console and enables these debug tooltips. So at this point, what we need to do is we need to do conquer, and this needs to be 11054, like that. So we have now conquered this. That's great. And we should be able to reach up over here in theory, I think. If we can't reach this, then we'll have to do this again. But for now, I think we can reach it via this being one C zone and then this being one C zone. I think. And we could actually check in here. It's not popping up here, but that might be because this doesn't have 10 population in it. And it would need to have 10 population. So that's fine for the moment, but we need to pay our cost here. And I don't want to add manpower. I want to subtract 500 manpower. Now, some Paradox games don't let you do this, and we'll find out if this is one of those. So I'm going to make a quick save here before we do anything to adjust this manpower. The goal is to set this at 1397 because we need 500 manpower to press the colonize button. So that would be the goal, and then manpower is the normal command in Paradox games, minus 500. Hopefully that works. That put us at 0. Okay, I want to be at 1350. If I recall correctly, in Imperator, this multiplies it by like 10 or 100. So we want this to be at like 1350. So let's try 13, just 13. That's 6,500. Okay, that's way more than we want. Minus 13. I want this to be at like 2. That puts us at 1,000. So we can get it to 1,500. I'm going to put it at 1,000. We're going to say it cost us more than it would have. Now what we need to do is we need to save it and turn off debug mode so that we don't have all these debug mode tooltips. Also, I want to point out, being in debug mode will disable achievements. Because we have mods installed, achievements are already disabled. So, to be clear, I'll be right back, not in debug mode. So here we are back in non-debug mode, and we've got this, at this point, conquered, but we did end up paying 800 manpower to do that, because apparently we have to round it to multiples of 500, so this was kind of the closest that we could get while rounding down, not up. So that is fine, and if we have to do the same for this, we will. I strongly suspect that we'll be able to colonize this, but we're going to need a lot more people here. I think it also has to be a city. Maybe. We'll see what ends up happening with that. I think... Let's see, I'm just thinking here. We may not be able to conquer, or rather colonize this. If we can't, and we know that we meet the requirements later, then we'll do that. I'm just double checking here what the requirements are. To be clear, the requirements are that... This page is not telling me. Okay, that's not helpful. Okay, according to the Paradox Wiki, and some of these things might be a little bit changed in Terra Indomita, according to the Paradox Wiki, the requirements are as follows. Is adjacent to or within 2 sea tiles of the target territory, has at least 8 pops, which I believe that was changed to 10 for Terra Indomita based on what I was reading. Has a dominant culture that is integrated, which this culture is... Yes, that is correct. Has a state religion as the dominant religion. That is correct. Has at least 1 pop that is not a slave, and it does. There are 2 tribesmen here. And has not been used to colonize in the last year. Okay. And then it should cost 10 gold, but in Terra Indomita, that has been changed to 500 manpower instead. So that is reasonably fine. We can move some pops here. That is absolutely something that we could do. We would need gold for that, and we can see if we can get this colonized, but I think that's a next episode sort of thing. If we can, I didn't see anything in that list about it requiring a city. So if we can reach this, we'll use the colonization mechanic. If we can't, we'll do it via the console command like this. However, we now have a claim on these guys, and I want to immediately declare war on them. We're going to do that, and we're going to head in and take their capital. However, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to conquer these guys, and we'll see if we need to use the console to colonize this or not. It's just, I'm not 100% certain that we're going to be able to reach, and I'm also not 100% certain on the Terra Indomita requirements. I'm going off of the base game requirements right now, so we'll see how that ends up going. Hopefully we'll be able to get this colonized via the in-game system. That would be ideal. I really don't like using the console if I can avoid it. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.